just checking in on America. Just, okay, buddy. You're winning, son, and checking, are they all right? Which apparently not in a lot of regards of what I keep seeing online, at least. American culture, or at least culture around, let's say, race and all the rest of it, has been ridiculous for quite some time. But it is now getting to a stage where I'm kind of a bit worried. But I thought we'd start this off just by mentioning, of course, there is now a premium video on lotus.com. This one around the politics of the death of Stalin, which, of course, is another place in which politics is mad, as well as the United States in regards to their culture here. But if we go to the next one here, we can see the fact, as we've mentioned a million times, so I won't dwell on it. American schools are not schools. It's just indoctrination centers.
Camps.
Intersectional crap. If you go to the next one, you can see that the teachers are all cringe lunatics. I mean, this one being a middle school teacher with repeal the Second Amendment on there, right?
Nope.
Okay.
GTFO.
Why are you taking that to a middle school? Even, but then
like all of those like 5-year-olds that are going to be 10-year-olds that are going to be coming in with their AR-15s and the little handguns.
Smart right. To be honest,
that would be pretty based. That'd be pretty based.
But if we go to the next one here, we can see the more extremist examples of things. I mean, extreme as all the other, gender ideology in the schools is. This kind of stuff creeps me out. And as you can see here, this is a video of a Wisconsin first grade teacher leading her students in a pledge of allegiance to the Pan-African flag for Juneteenth. We have joked previously, obviously, about the point that it doesn't make any friggin' sense. Juneteenth, Pan-African flag. Who do you think sold you into slavery? The Africans. We bought the slaves. We didn't go out and get them. So it's mad
as
anyway.
Much as Roots might have tried to tell you that, is Roots was a television show, guys.
Yeah,
it didn't actually happen that way.
The Europeans would turn up and exchange money for slaves. The Africans did the slaving for us. Pretty easy. Anyway, but let's watch this clip of this, historically illiterate person.
And 1. Fists up. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the Afro-American people. Under God, I will protect freedom, seek peace, honor our ancestors, and encourage and support the development and prosperity of people of African descent. You may be seated.
Why did she film herself doing that? That looks so bad.
Show off to all our friends, I assume.
Creepy cult-like behavior.
Yeah. Although I can't get over the lyric, we must honor our ancestors. It's like, you've got a Pan-African flag behind you, freaking moron. Your ancestors who were sold into slavery by Africans, so you've got a Pan-African flag.
I'm just imagining the one kid, the one white kid who's got, like, I don't know, Confederate ancestry sweating while he's saying that part, like...
But it's worrying, to say the least. And if we go to the next set of links, we can also see that there's some other worrying aspects about American culture being mad. As you can see here.
This was so embarrassing when I saw this earlier.
Unbelievably cringe.
Also, how does a black person not see this and just feel like they're being treated like a literal baby? You're black, you like those Afro combs, don't you?
It's ridiculous. I mean, at the same time in which people tear down statues of George Washington because he doesn't represent America, instead this...
The Afro comb represents America.
Big old comb with a BLM fist for black power represents America. Right, okay. This is hideous. This is just embarrassing, to say the least.
And that looks like an embarrassing toy you'd find in your mum's room.
Yeah. And if we go to the...
What's the fist for, Mum?
Next link here, we just check in with, what about the fact that, of course, black people are so oppressed in the United States. They have a list of grievances that's 10 miles long of serious and legitimate things that
being made the center of attention, having the entire culture based around them and trans people. Well, maybe it's that they have to share the limelight with the transes right now. Maybe that's what they're offended about.
That is the complaint from these individuals, at least, which is, of course, very well-to-do TV hosts who are black women and therefore, I don't know, just the worst off in all of human history.
I only have 3 mansions. You hear about that Patrice Cullors? 4 mansions.
Essentially. In this MSNBC special, Culture is Black Women, panelists complain about the racism of TV makeup stylists not tending to their hair properly, insufficient makeup supplies, ooh, Lord, and also inadequate style prep before shooting a Time magazine cover. Oh my God.
Oh, poor baby. Oh dear.
Unbearable what these women have gone through. So let's listen and learn from.
We toasted it. The hair
We have all been in the struggle.
All the black people.
How do we get our hair and makeup together? Back in the news business, your beautiful hair would not have been allowed even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I went renegade last year and started wearing every kind of braid style that you could possibly do. But for all of you, I mean, in every single one of our businesses, we've had to deal with our hair being fried, falling out of our head.
God, yeah.
To somebody who didn't know how to do us, couldn't sit in the thing. We couldn't have a black hair and makeup team.
Foundations 2 shades lighter, darker.
Ashy.
Right. I go on TV and I'm like, I look a damn mess. Like what have been traumatized? And I'm supposed to have hair, and the hair is like that, and they done. I'm like, what?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you this: the time cover. I've never told the story. They called me 3 days before and said, "Can you come in to do a photo shoot?" They did not tell me it was the cover. They said, "Bring a yellow shirt and a blue shirt." Out of my closet.
Wow.
No wardrobe, no nothing. So I grabbed the yellow shirt. I grabbed the blue shirt. I came downtown.
Oh, Lord.
I came to the place, right? I'm just thinking it's going to be a little picture, like whatever. I get to the place. My braids wasn't fresh. Now, you know, come on. Come on. I had 3 days. I could have took my braids out. Okay. My braids wasn't fresh. My braids was always fresh. Or I would have freshed them myself.
Right.
I get to the place. I get there. I just take the shoot like normal. They make this the cover of freaking Time magazine.
I feel like I've just listened to like the Seventh Circle of Hell or something.
What fantasy land they live into? Oh, I'm being so aggrieved being put on the cover of Time magazine. Should we start to bring up our grievances with Carl? Because I don't know about you, I had to bring this shirt in myself. Can you believe it?
Unbearable that there was insufficient prep for my Time magazine cover. I mean, that's what the most insufferable individuals on the planet. I just can't get over the imagery as well. Like they're sat around this fancy dinner table having these fancy meals with their champagne, going, yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? You're all activists and weirdos.
Do you see what the Libertarian Party meant from that tweet now? Do you see what they meant? These people owe us for putting us through that.
It's the most painful experience just looking. Like, could you imagine being in that room? Also, is this what TV is now? Like, I'm sorry, I haven't watched TV in friggin' ages.
Me neither, because it's worthless.
Why would you own one? Especially if in the UK you got to pay tax for it. So then just, what the frick? Like, why is this what, passes for entertainment?
Just a quick life hack for anybody in the UK. You only have to pay the TV license if you watch BBC programming.
Yeah. But
just in case anybody didn't know.
Or you could just not let them in. Anyway. But,
all that.
But there's some people who are very aggrieved because it's terrible. They didn't get sufficient time for their Time magazine cover, and there's more of this stuff where you just kind of look at American culture and think, "What the hell is going on?" And most worryingly for us foreigners, because of course our greatest relationship with the United States is that they keep us safe from the Chinese, frankly. And you can see here a video that is now being used to indoctrinate the U.S. Navy, who are not an important institution.
Oh no, not this
at all. Not keeping the Chinese in the ports, are they? So as you see, this is Navy training its members to create safe spaces by using proper gender pronouns. This is pain, so I'll give you a cringe warning, but, we're used to it by now.
My segment was supposed to be a white pill, and now you're just making me sad.
Let's play the clip.
Hi, my name is Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Kanchi, and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
What is a pronoun? A pronoun is how we identify ourselves apart from our name, and it's also how people refer to us in conversations.
Using the right pronouns is a really simple way to affirm someone's identity. It is a signal of acceptance and respect.
If it's a signal of acceptance and respect, how do we go about creating a safe space for everybody?
That's a good question. A really good way to do that is to use inclusive language. Instead of saying something like, hey guys, you can say, hey everyone, or hey team.
Yeah, and now that you say that, another way that we could show that we're allies and that we accept everybody is to maybe include our pronouns in our emails, or like we just did, introduce ourselves using our pronouns.
But what would I do if I misgender someone?
I think the first thing to recognize is that it's not the end of the world. You correct yourself and move on, or you accept the correction and move on. The most important thing I can tell you is do not put the burden of making you feel good about your mistake on the person that you just misgendered.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
That goes on for like 3 odd minutes.
I tweeted this out and was like, okay, I know this is already stupid enough, but did they have to get 2 people to talk about this who sound like literal dribbling retards? The way they're talking, it's like they're talking to a baby. If I misgender somebody, what do I do?
Yes, I think that is literal because again, it's party indoctrination. It's made for the stupidest person in the room because even the stupidest person has to say.
But even the smartest person, but even the smartest person in the room who doesn't want to have to do this knows that they have to go along with this babying BS anyway, or else they might get kicked out of the room.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this is something that surprised me when we had Zubi in, and I asked him. Because he has lived much of his life in Saudi Arabia studying there. So I asked, okay, you've got all this kind of indoctrination that takes place in schools and elsewhere, of course, in the Navy now. What was it like living in Saudi? I mean, how much indoctrination do you have to deal with from the Islamic side? And he said, none. I couldn't really believe him. I asked him again, and he was like, no, none. Like, there just isn't any. They don't care. Like, if you're a Muslim or not, that's how simple it is. Whereas in the West...
That's so shocking to me.
Yeah, in the West... You believe or not, that doesn't matter. You're gonna believe. You're gonna believe in putting your pronouns in your emails. Damn it!
Yeah, because you've got the gun to your head.
Yeah, and the funniest part of this 3-minute odd clip, though, I just wanted to demonstrate some of that for the level of cringe and embarrassment that this is. But the best part is when this pronouner on the right there, she runs into someone who isn't mentally ill, and it goes about as well as you'd expect. Let's play.
The argument was, if you look like a female, then it's she, her, because that's what's normal. And if you make me call you something else, then you're infringing on my rights.
Yes.
And I was really taken aback by the comment, and I really wasn't sure how to respond. And the only thing I could really think quickly to say was, it's not about you at all. And it's mostly and ultimately about respect.
I mean... If you wanted to look like an NPC, I don't think she could have done a better job.
Yeah, literally, you went off of her programming. Her dialogue tree didn't extend that far.
It's like someone who isn't mentally ill says to you, well, no, if you're a woman, it's she, her, because that's how language works. You read. Anyway, but also, I have a civil right to do as I please with my language. That's what the First Amendment is, you muppet. And her, as you say, her dialogue tree just failed. She didn't know what to do, and she went, but it's about respect?
Yep.
It's not. It's not about respect. So just go to hell. Like you're full of it.
Yeah, and also I think I don't know if it's Michael pointed this out. It's like since when do people who are joining the Navy have to worry about safe spaces? You're literally going to fight in battlefields.
Too bad. Not good enough. But there we have that. I also love the idea that civil rights die when more respect begins. So therefore, all insults are just illegal.
I mean, everyone knows that respect is just something that's handed to you, right? You don't have to do anything for it.
And if we go to this link here, we also see the fact that there's Matt Walsh releasing that a woman whose husband is on active duty in the Navy also decided to send this in. His command held a diversity hike, or diversity march, perhaps, in honor of Pride Month. Attendance was mandatory. They hiked, waving the rainbow flag, or not the American flag. I just love the idea. It's like, we are going on a march for progress and diversity. You're welcome. You will come and enjoy so much. I mean, it is literally have you seen the diversity camp? What is it? The tolerance camp from South Park, where they make all the boys go to tolerance camp.
Where intolerance will not be tolerated.
They will make macaroni paintings of families holding hands of all different races and creeds. This isn't normal.
This is really weird. Once again, this is just a cult.
Yeah. And I thought I'd end this off with some good news in that regard. So if we go to the next one here, we just have the fact that apparently Elon Musk decided to fire a whole bunch of his employees because he doesn't have the belief in the economy. So he said we have to get rid of 10%. And in that, he got rid of the LGBTQI diversity hires. Which,
why did he have them in the first place?
I don't know. I think
that's really weird that he had them in the first place.
He's a bit of an oversight.
To be fair, actually, I think Tesla recently got taken off of ESG, so he might have had them purely to accommodate for ESG, but still, I would have just said no.
That's why you hire diversity hires, but he did get rid of one. But I suppose I'm going to end on a quote. I didn't know if I was going to do it, but let's do it.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Douglas Murray's new book, because it really is, in my mind, just I'm sort of saying, like, America, how you winning, buddy? And a lot of it is a big no. And one of the quotes in here makes me really laugh. This is Douglas's new book, and he writes in here about moral panic, so I just wanted to read it to you, if nothing else. I think it's funny as hell. He just gives us a list of the Klan, because, with all the complaints about racism in the United States, the endemic of structural racism, you'd think the Klan are just wandering about left, right, and center.
And that's what it sounds like.
Apparently so. So in April 2016, an extraordinary panic kicked off at the University of Indiana. It was around 9 o'clock in the evening when somebody reported that a member of the Ku Klux Klan had been spotted on campus. The suspect turned out the member was not a member of the Klan, but in fact a Dominican monk. He was just a guy wearing monk robes. Happened again.
Okay, all right.
One morning in 2013, there was a sighting of a person in a Klansman outfit at Oberlin College in Ohio. The panic at this liberal arts college led to the cancellation of all classes for the rest of the day. Well, kind of a Klan member on campus.
Like someone just burst through the door, Klan!
But also the Klan are like, I'm bored today, better go for a walk on a college campus. That's a welcoming zone. It transpired that the sighting was most likely caused by either a homeless pedestrian wrapped in a blanket or a woman who was seen the same morning carrying a blanket on campus.
Could you imagine some homeless dude just walking through the campus wrapped in his blanket because he's cold and a mob of college students just start beating him?
Clearly trying to lynch black people. We know your game.
Yeah. So
There's some change. You want it for a noose. That's what.
You want to lynch? We lynch you first.
This happened again. In November 2015, a queer black activist who was also a former student body president caused a virtual stampede at the University of Missouri when he claimed that the Klan had been spotted on campus.
I'm sorry, did they have their own Jussie Smollett right there?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
He said he was working with the police. He wasn't. He said he was working with campus security. He wasn't. He eventually ended up apologizing for just making that up.
Well, he just. Well, yeah, they do like to throw hoaxes out there, don't they?
But that's the thing, which is just I can't get over how the United States and Douglas is demonstrating in much more examples than just those, of course, and some of them here. The whole society seems to act. I mean, if you were taking this as legitimate, the intersectionals, as if it is apartheid South Africa. As if black people are just killed for existing, presumably.
Well, yeah, they've constructed this fantasy land which has no bearing in reality whatsoever, but everybody has to tiptoe around it like it is reality.
Like, there really are just Klan members turning up on campus, and that's really what I wanted to talk about, which is just like, what the fuck? When you step back for a minute. Yeah, I mean, remember when we read, what was it, Mao's great, the Cultural Revolution?
Yeah.
And you think, okay, crazy thing for no reason, crazy thing for no reason.
Yep, everyone's nuts every single day, constantly.
And looking at the United States, I mean, the number of stories we cover in this regard really do feed into that vein. That it really does feel like, from an outsider looking at the United States, being like, why do they keep doing this crazy thing every day that just gets worse and worse for no reason?
I mean, as we are outsiders and there's crazy stuff going on there, but I mean, from what we covered in the first segment, there's crazy stuff going on over here as well.
Yeah, it's just the United States is the most weird example because, richest country on earth.
And the United States is where the ideology that's pushing all of this originated from, and we just happen to have it imported over here for some stupid reason.
Anyway, I thought that's where I probably should leave this off, but I thought I'd just check in and be like, hey, buddy, you're all right. And for the rest of us who are not Americans, we are looking in and being like, hey, buddy, you still alive? Black power. Please don't say that, buddy. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this live book club from Patricia McCormick on the A Human Manifesto. And if you want to follow what else Harry's putting out, you can follow him on Getter at Harry Lotus Eater on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.